What's happening, everybody? I'm Batwolf and welcome to another web-slinging episode of Art Time. Since the new Insomniac Spider-Man 2 video game came out, and Spider-Man being one of my favorite characters in all of fiction, I thought it'd be cool to do another Lantern video based off of the members of the Spider-Verse. For this video, we'll be using Earth 616 Peter Parker, Miles Morales of Earth 1610, and Gwen Stacy from Earth 65. Now, if you only read Marvel Comics and love Spider-Man, you may not know that Lantern Corps are space warriors chosen from the emotional constructs within the DC universe. They can use power rings to create anything that they want from their imaginations, including weapons and constructs from anything that they could think of. In the end, all Lanterns use their power and abilities to fight for their cores. Whether those Lantern Corps become will, fear, hope, rage, love, compassion, avarice, shame, and the ones that combine them all, death and life. Now, with the geek facts out of the way, let us begin. Peter Parker of Earth 616 is the default and most well-known version of the web swinger. We all know the story, bitten by a radioactive spider, losing his Uncle Ben, and taking on the long-lived lessons and becoming the hero we all know and love. However, coming down to a Lantern Corps for this version of Peter Parker was no easy task. Looking at this character, I automatically thought of a few that would fit for Peter very well. Peter Parker of Earth 616 is a member of the Pink Lantern Corps of Love. It could be argued that he belongs in others. Whether it be fighting for the safety of the public he fell in love with, the many girlfriends and loves of his life, and of course the sweet and supportive Aunt May. The love for his late uncle and wanting to honor the lessons he's taught him is the main reason he puts on that costume. Whether he gives up his power, memories, or even life, there is no extent his love won't push him to go. For the most part of Spider-Man's design, I wanted to keep it connected to his original suit, with a few adjustments to make it match with the other Star Sapphire lanterns. I also blended the large star symbol and combined it with the spider symbol. The base colors were easy to think of, as most of the Pink Lanterns keep their uniforms just pink and black. This made it easy to imagine what Peter's version of the costume would look like. After the shading, I had him using his lantern power to web swing into an alien city, bringing his ideals of heroism, responsibility, and yes, love, to yet another planet. Though I like his stance and the all-around design, I wish I made a better background for the Amazing Spider-Man. I do think I made the right choice in him saving another planet, but I was having a hard time figuring out how to make it pop without distracting from the main subject of the drawing. Though with all his flaws and new power, here is Spider-Man, the Pink Lantern. Miles Morales of Earth 1610 had an origin story unlike other spider people. Though he was also bitten by a spider, Miles was left with the impossible task of having to take up the mantle of being Earth 1610 Spider-Man after its Peter Parker died in battle with the Sinister Six. Through Miles' career as Spider-Man, he had to learn the trials and sacrifices that comes with being a wall-crawling, web-slinging crime fighter, such as loss, pain, and again, sacrifice. Much like Spider-Man of Earth 616, he is eligible for many of the Lantern Corps. He too does not give up very easily and holds the same ideals as Spider-Man, but is way more suspicious and untrusting of people than Peter is. This could cause Miles to be somewhat erratic and stubborn. He has shown great love and anger in the past, but what makes him so impressive is his heart and the way that he carries himself. Miles, even when he's told that he's not good enough as a hero or that he'll never be as good as the original Spider-Man, he still never gives up on his goals of protecting the city and being this world's Spider-Man. Miles is in the Green Lantern Corps of Will because of his willpower to shut out the naysayers and use his power to be the best Spider-Man he can be. It's his will that makes him a good hero, and it's will that makes Miles Spider-Man. As I thought about Miles and his journey as Spider-Man, I wanted a design that reflected the years of him punching up and being a part of the world much bigger than himself. So I rolled with that and showed him turning into a Green Lantern upon the Lantern planet Oa. Since his costume comes into a point on his chest, it reminded me of the John Stewart's Green Lantern uniform, and I used that as inspiration for where Miles' costume could go. I also combined the sharp angles of the spider symbol and the lantern's more boxy symbol. Now before I could color this design, it was important to me that you could tell that it was clearly Miles underneath this costume rather than just another Peter variant. So I went over each web line and made sure that I had made enough space so that I can color in between them later. For the background, I placed the large statue of the Green Lantern symbol behind Miles, and behind that is the green atmosphere of space. Originally I wanted large electricity sparks coming from his ring, but I didn't want to distract from his suit. So I placed a large lantern aura around him and green sparks coming off his body. I am really proud of this design and I am amazed of how it came out. I didn't know what to expect at the beginning, so I'm glad it worked out in the end. With his will and a universe that keeps getting bigger, here is Spider-Man, the Green Lantern. Alright guys, let's do this one last time. Gwen Stacy of Earth 65 is not like her usual counterself from other universes. For example, she is a punk rock drummer, doesn't get her back and neck snapped, and is this world's one and only Spider-Woman. When it comes to this wall crawler, I found that though she has similarities to other web-slingers, Spider-Gwen has been shown to be a better detective and has a more graceful approach to being Spider-Woman than others in similar situations. Now as I looked at her feats and history, I came down to two main Lantern Corps choices that outshined all others. One was the Ultraviolet Lantern Corps of Shame, because towards the beginning of her career, she of course was bitten by a radioactive spider, and Earth 65's Peter admired the new hero and injected himself with lizard DNA into his system. Poor Peter just wanted to be special, and as he died in her arms, Gwen blamed herself for not seeing his signs of loneliness and not being able to save her best friend. Shame has followed Spider-Woman her entire career and caused her to push people away. However, if there's one thing that silences shame in her mind, it's Gwen's unbelievable amount of compassion for others. Usually, an Indigo Lantern is chosen from either having no compassion at all or having a large amount of the emotion. For Gwen, when she thinks to keep others in the dark and become a self-hating character, it's her compassion for others that keeps her in the light, and it's compassion that makes Gwen Spider-Woman. For Gwen, I focused on the idea of her coming out of a lantern portal as most can travel across the galaxy. With this idea, I had her elegantly landing on the ground with a staff in hand. With her costume being so unique, there was no way you could get her mixed up with another Spider character. The real trouble was deciding where the color changes would go and where the lantern parts would come in. I decided to keep her usual white and black parts in the same places, but add the Indigo Lantern's robes, wrappings, and marks to control where the light and dark purples could go. Within her lantern staff, I added small details of webbing, and this would help with the cool effects and constructs I would add later. As the design came to an end, I was focusing on the background. Originally, I wanted her to be popping out of a portal into a city, either on Earth or an alien planet. However, I again didn't want the background to distract from the main design, or as I see it, the best pose of the three. So I added the purple and the glowing aura to the rest of her uniform and dark purple background. This design proving once again that sometimes less means more. With her lessons of the past and compassion for the worlds to save out there, here is Spider-Woman, the Indigo Lantern. Thanks for watching, and if you guys like this video and want me to do a part 2, please let me know in the comments and I will do another video featuring Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. It's up to you guys to decide who will be the next Spider people in the video. In the meantime, please check out my other Lantern videos, like if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or video game characters were in Lantern Corps. And since this is a Spider-Verse video, please remember that with great power comes great responsibility. Don't let anyone tell you how your story is told, and remember that anyone can be a Spider person. That said, like, share, subscribe, and this is Batwolf, howling out.